Clownie Nerf.
Hey friends, it's your Uncle Clownie coming to you, and this time it's on a mod that I made that was inspired by Pricklys Nerf Mods. He showed me a picture of something that he was working on that we were kind of talking about, and it just clicked something in my head. It's based off of the Leonard Rotator 8. If you don't know what that is, I'm not surprised to all you youngins. This thing was a very iconic and beautiful looking shell, but as beautiful as it was flawed. It shot 3/4 length darts, and although it did have 8 shots of rotating goodness, it just didn't shoot them very far. And top that with the knockout like priming mechanism, it just, in lackluster internals, there was really no mod potential at all. Even though it lacked air restrictors, it just lacked power to be able to use, but nonetheless was and still is, probably in my opinion, one of the most wonderful designed and gorgeous shells ever, especially when painted up. These things are absolutely incredible. But he showed me something he was working on, and it clicked in my head, and I would just like to say, before we go to the tabletop, thank you Vile Mods and Grim from Grimm's Modworks for sending me the power half of this blaster, because without them this would have not come together, definitely for what it was going to be very quickly, because not only did I screw it up the first time and it afforded me a second chance, but I screwed it up the second time, and that's pretty much how this thing got the look that it did, because without the first mess up I wouldn't have had the parts to do the second mess up, instead of being able to make 2 of the blasters, which wasn't the original intention. Man, this thing has a lot of mess ups that just turned out really happy in its future. I guess you screw up until you get something right. So without further ado, let's take a look at Leviathan. It's here on the desk. Okay guys, this is Leviathan. It is a Nerf Trailblazer Rotator 8 integration with a Fortnite handle from the flare gun, because the handle on the Nerf Trailblazer is an absolute abysmal little flaccid piece of nothing. It is horrible. It's one of the most uncomfortable and miserably designed handles I have ever seen, and that includes all of the Busby line. The original idea for this thing was to give it the 7 deadly sins on the blaster, each one on a barrel, and the word damnation on the last one. But as I got down to Leviathan, which I could see is put here script on the side of it, I decided that well, I like that name way too much, so I painted it and called it Leviathan. It has a decent level of performance. It has 8 shots, because the Leonard Rotator 8 does as well. And one of the longer blasters, as far as a hand cannon goes, that I have made, I left the orange tip on and did put a false barrel inside of it just to help guide the darts, but it didn't really need it. They were coming out clean to begin with. There is a small but, understated attitude adjustment here on the side of it, and a hand painted Seal of Solomon, which holds demons in bay, if I got that correctly, and then the Seal of Leviathan on the other side, and on both sides, of course, skulls. 4 skulls are cool, and then a small sulfur or Leviathan cross on here, because Leviathan. It's all done in metallics except for a bit of white and some flat black left over from the vinyl dye basing, and then jewels all over the thing, including one on the front of it, just to give it some extra pop, because why not? It does seem to have a wonderful overall 40K-ish kind of vibe, and meets the aesthetic of the other one that I had made, Abaddon, which I may or may not have posted up on this channel. I'm not entirely sure. And I am honestly in love with this thing. It is super comfortable and it is so much fun to shoot. So let me know what you guys think of this thing. I really wish I would have been able to make 2 of them, because I do have a couple rotator 8s, but I would have had 2 of these if I hadn't screwed it up, thanks to, you know, my own understanding. But that's of how the mod, how the blaster worked. But that's, you know, since everything's glued together nowadays, I'm just going to blame it on the fact that it was solvent welded, and if it had been a single screw, I would have not chopped the damn thing in 2, or I didn't need to chop it in 2 in the first place. So let me know what you guys think about this thing. Would you like to see more of stuff like this? Like and subscribe, and always remember, you know, Uncle Clownie's watching. Peace.